So, but we're just learning. So here we go. We're going to go next. All right. So this is what the screen looks like. I'm going to show you an analysis for myself that I did not long ago. I'm just trying to go with crazy money information here. Let's see. Okay. So we can see, actually, I'm going to start a new one because that's going to make more sense for everybody. So let's go back and we'll start a new, we'll go to the clients, we'll grab me, and it's going to want me to do this again. This is the thing that I have noticed since we've done this and the updates. It has to scan again for the Healy. Every time I run this, it wants to scan my Healy again and connect my Bluetooth. And it never used to do that before.
I've noticed that too recently.
Yeah. I don't love that.
No, neither do I.
I don't love that. Okay, so here we go. Bang. Now, yes, I want to perform a coaching analysis. Okay.
Oh,
and I got, sorry?
Oh, that's where the coaching analysis thing is. Yeah.
Right. So it's right there at the middle. Now, as you can see, we have a enter focus. So what we want to do is we want to type in what is our focus. I'm going to put sleep through the night. Okay, so stress-free, actually, the night. Let's make it a beautiful sleep. Okay, now we go to continue to the database. Now you can see here. Oh, we lost him. There we go. Okay, so now you can see here. You can see all of the different areas, all of these different databases that we have, right? So let's say we want to click on emotional balance. If I click this, emotional balance, it's going to ask me for a number. So how many databases? It looks like there are 136 different things that we can check off. I'm going to do 3 of them. Then let's see, what else would I look at for a beautiful sleep? Maybe spirituality. And then I have to choose a number there. I'm going to go 3. So done. Now I'm going to hit the check mark at the top and we're going to start the analysis. So you can see it's not that tricky. Okay, so here's what it's come up at 84%. I have the D1E36. And then interestingly enough, at the very top, it's spirituality and breathe. So the following breathing meditation strengthens me. With the inhalation, my breath flows into my heart from above through the crown chakra. With the exhalation, it flows forward out of me and spreads divine love in the world. That's beautiful.
Isn't it gorgeous? I love that.
That's beautiful. Wow. Okay, so it's at 84% here. It's at a number 2. And from the training that I watched, a number 2 meant that it's going to take a bit to really shift that. But I need to do more training on this. So let's pull up the screen that I had before, and we'll look at this number, because this is where I struggle a bit too. So according to this chart here, if I look up a D1E36, so D is physical. D1. I have very physical, and it's wrong acting is what it says here. So I don't see the, oh, here, E13. That's down way low under karmic. And I don't, yeah, D1, what is that? E. Yeah, sure enough. Okay, it's, I don't sleep well because it's karmic. Well, that kind of doesn't make, that kind of doesn't make much sense, does it? I don't know about that. Okay, so it's saying here that it's affecting me in wrong action physically. However, if we look at this D1E36, and I go to my chart, I have D1E6. I don't know about 1E3. I don't see that anywhere in here, but it's showing up in that realm as karmic. So I don't fully understand why
E36 is ancestors, I believe.
Say that again.
One E36 ancestors.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. Right. But that's D1E36. D1. Yes, ancestors. So how would you interpret that? Because this is like, I'm trying to learn this too at the moment. So this is cellular memory from my ancestors that's causing me a potentially not restful sleep. And is that what this is saying? Isn't that strange? That is really strange. Okay. So I don't know what to make of that, but however, if you wanted to get really creative and start thinking about it, you could think, okay, well, we have trauma is passed down. We have cellular memory with trauma. It's held in muscle tissue. It's held through the crystal matrix of the body. So, all right, I'm following with that. All right, I'm going to keep going and see what else comes up. So I ran also the spirituality and emotional balance for this. So now that comes up with an 83 here and an 8. And then we have again the D1E. Let me look at this. It's 1E12 D, and that says parental. All right. And D again is physical, but it's not saying I'm wrong acting because it's physical, yet I have ancestry and parental here. So, and that's the screen I shared earlier. So I don't know if everybody has that screen, but I could drop it into the text area, if in the chat area, if anybody wants me to drop that in. Do you all have this?
I haven't got it.
All right, I'm going to drop that in for you now, then, so that you can look at that while we follow along. Let me just move that over.
Help.
And I will pop that into the chat. Here we go. Why is that not landing? I tell you what, I'm having one of those days where nothing's going right today.
Technology is challenging you tonight.
You know, it's kind of crazy. Okay, so I've got it right here. Why is that not going in? I'm sorry, guys. Normally I have beautiful presentations. I'm on a wing and a prayer at the moment, so I apologize for this. I'm trying to get behind this screen here. There we go. I should be able to pop that in there now. Why is that not going? There we go. There, it's loading. Okay, we're back in business. All right, so that came through. You should be able to have a look at that. Okay.
Okay, so, yes, I got it now. Right, yes.
Beautiful. So that's the sheet we're looking at here to just kind of get an idea of the numbers. So when we look at this, we're looking at emotional balance. We're looking at, it's saying living consciously. So there are a lot of things that you can put together to really put a bigger puzzle, a bigger picture together. So I, like the rest of you, I imagine, I really don't know how to fully utilize these codes yet, but with my intuition and a bit of common sense, I can certainly look at this list here and come up with some things that I would understand about this. So again, the second one comes up at 83%. Now, does anybody else know, like, can you talk to me about the percentage and the numbers? What is your experience with this? What is your expertise? How can you help others watching this right now so we can all learn and grow together? Anybody else? No, we've got a few people in here. Anyone feel confident or comfortable to share what they know so far? I'll take that as a no. No. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. So my understanding is when the numbers really high like that, you've done a lot of work. It's not as difficult to shift. That's my understanding. This number, I'm slowly learning about as we go along. And this number is how relevant, how important this whole thing is. So the desired state here is living consciously. I'm living consciously. I realize that by shutting down my mind and avoiding my awareness, I am ruining my health. Oh, Lord. Well, that's not very good either. Wow. Okay. See, this thing goes in deep. I mean, like it really, so it's tying this. So there's some stuff that's tied to my family, that's tied to my parents or my parenting, and then my ancestors as well, based on this. So there's some karmic stuff going on, I guess. No, because karma is D1E6. So they're saying, no, it's not. It's parental and it's ancestors. So there's cellular memory, muscle memory. So the first one was the following breathing meditation strengthens me, which is I love. So spirituality for me would be breath. I'm not breathing properly. So I'm not oxygenating my cells enough just before I go to sleep, potentially. So with the inhalation, my breath flows into my heart from above through the crown. With the exhalation, it flows forward out of me and spreads divine love into the world. I'm going to do that because I absolutely love how that sounds. It's just beautiful. The other thing is that number 2 there. So when I listened to Michael dance, it was like that's something that would be a little more difficult for someone to shift. But I don't think it is at all. Like if I would certainly go, okay. However, I don't fully understand how this condition comes from my parents. That I don't fully understand, but that's okay. We'll learn as we go, right? So living consciously, again, this is from emotional balance. I am ruining my health, apparently, because I don't realize that by shutting down my mind and avoiding my awareness, I'm ruining my health. Okay. I would think when you want to go to sleep, you want to shut down your mind. So, and turn off that crazy, jittery monkey mind thing. So that's a little confusing to me. But that's okay. We'll keep going. The next one down is emotional balance, again at 70% energy and power. So the desired state, I recognize the unconscious cause of my energy field contacting around other people. Contracting, yeah. I open myself optimally and my energy field expands into its optimal. Okay, so I get that. That makes a bit of sense. And that number is C15. So C15 is up here in physical, and it's wrong acting. So in my daily life, or when it's time for me to unwind, I unconsciously, my energy field is contracting around other people. So I'm interfered, that entanglement. In quantum physics, we call it entanglement. So my energy field is entangled with people that is causing me to not be able to be in my own energy field and relax through this whole process. So it says, I open myself optimally and my energy field expands into its optimal size. All energy flows into me unhindered to an optimal degree and circulates within me. A lot of these are really beautiful, don't you think? I love that. Okay, so down a little bit further, we have the next one. Again, it's emotional balance, energy and power. So that's come up several times, as we can see here. Energy and power. So I recognize the unconscious causes of feeling exhausted by closeness in relationships. Okay, so let me ask you guys, because I know how I would interpret that. So how would you interpret that? Does anybody want to jump in? I recognize the unconscious causes of feeling exhausted by closeness in relationships. So I see it as, I have maybe my relationship with my kids is really depleting me or winding me up and getting me all spun out with energy and power before I go to bed. How would you see that?
Yeah, it's almost, I see it as you're giving over almost too much energy to others. Perhaps.
Yeah. So that's how I would interpret that, definitely. And that's so that's up there at 68%. It's the number 7, and it's D. I have a lot of D's in this right now, and that's D100. So D100, let me look at this. That's wrong thinking. So not wrong acting, but wrong thinking. So right here. If you want to open up, oh, that's right, you guys can't see that again because I'm not sharing that, but it's in the chat.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's another one there. I hope somebody wasn't just trying to get in.
I think somebody just dropped out.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I was hoping that everybody would have the their Healys with their coach, and we could just run some things and work on them together and just have people kind of work through it, because it's new.
And how do you get the coach?
You just go into the back office and order it.
Yeah, gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so what they have here for the desired state, because we're right here, is I have my full vitality and vigor at all times. In situations of human closeness, I retain my full stamina and power at all times. So it's also kind of giving away your own power too here. So you don't, like, I don't realize maybe that a lot of my energetic demands are playing out in the way that I sleep. And so it seems to be quite entangled there. The next one is that, so it's dropped substantially down to 53%. The number 2, it's a 1E24. 1. I don't even know where that is. D, that's why. D, yep, D. I'm having mostly D's. D1, that again, that's grandparents. Okay. So that's grandparents. It's also still in the physical. And spirituality. I live my spirituality. My presence on earth has a positive effect on the entire world. Woohoo! Yay! Okay. So that's where I want to get. That's my desired state. So I want to be there. And that's it. So it's mostly, oh, and here's the last one at 51%, DE12. I live my spirituality. I'm a necessary part of the divine plan. So this is really interesting. I mean, I wouldn't normally run it for sleep, but I just thought, okay, let's have a look and see, because I do struggle with sleep. And actually, the sleep programs in Healy actually wind me up and spin me out. Like, they don't make me tired. I have to use things like release or pure calm. Those things, those help me sleep really well. The sleeping programs, no.
That's funny, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they wind me up. I get going from those. So, all right. So that's really interesting. So it's a learning curve to really look at. I almost feel like maybe you can develop your own real sense of how to do these and read them in a way that's really best for you. I don't know if that's the ideal way to do it, but I mean, for me, I wouldn't want to be doing this for people and having to stop and look and read through the chart every minute. And it's a lot of information to memorize and to learn. Yeah. So
Definitely.
yeah, but so that's it. Sleep through the night, stress free. So it's tying that based on what I scanned. And it's saying, interestingly enough, so I want to get more insight and information on that with my parents and my grandparents and my ancestors, unless they all had sleep issues and it just crossed over into my world, which is really interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. Is there anyone else in the group right now that is willing to do a scan or share, give some feedback? Because that's really what this was tonight. That was what this was for tonight, was just kind of hands-on, dive in and just kind of work through some of these things with the coach, because we're all new to this. And I'm by means no expert with this coach. Not yet.
But
I will be.
at least when I purchased the coach module, there were some small films to watch, and as I understand things, the potency is more a level of, is it conscious or subconscious?
Ah, okay.
So of course the potency list is the same as for the aura module, but we shouldn't be looking at, is it coming from our grandparents or not? It just, if it's a small number, it's something conscious. If it's a very high number or the E stuff, it's subconscious, things we're not aware of.
Ah, okay, that's really good information. So anytime you see the E, it's usually something that's unconscious, subconscious, and you're not really aware of it.
That's how I understood it, yes.
That's very helpful. That makes good sense. Okay, so based on what I'm looking, like if you were doing this session for someone, what would be some of the best information that you would give them to help them potentially have better sleep based on what you're looking at and what you've learned so far? And maybe it's not even about sleep. Maybe you pick up something very deep and different than what's actually, the way I'm reading it.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, the middle number has to do with if you can confront somebody with the information.
Yeah, I do remember hearing that. The lower, they wouldn't accept it as easily, and the higher number they would. Yes. Yeah.
So the first one, although the relevance is 84%,
yeah,
the second number is a 2.
Yeah.
Which means that probably the person is not yet ready to hear the stuff. So
okay.
you would take the second one, the living consciously, which is 83% relevance with an 8 in the middle. So they're ready to be confronted with what's going on. And you would discuss this one.
instead of this one, because this one, even though it's just saying breathe, the following breathing meditation strengthens me. So technically, I'm not ready to accept this possibility. So instead, move down and go to this one. I'm more apt to do well with this than the one above.
That's what I understood. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I am living consciously. I realize that by shutting down my mind and avoiding my awareness, I am ruining my health. Okay. I feel more in line with the one above than I do that one. I'm not sure where I would be shutting down my mind to and avoiding my awareness. Oops. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's really interesting. I like what you're saying because it does help a little more. Although, and so also, so the percentages, that's definitely the relevance, like what is very relevant. And at an 84%, it's a very relevant situation for me in this experience, and that it's subconscious. So my issue to relax and to calm down and to have a beautiful, calm sleep, I have some subconscious issues that I'm not even prepared to identify yet based on this, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's no good. I'm ready to be wide open and know what I need to do. I do not like being unconscious. Okay. So is this helping everybody? Is this helping people? Because it's good for me because I'm just learning this as well. So this is really good for me. All right. So the lower percentages down here, which is the last one, I live my spirituality. I am a necessary part of the divine plan. See, I just think that's beautiful. They came up with some really beautiful things for this. So, yep, that's it. Except that's not as relevant as what's going on up top, because I know here, in order to sleep and be calm and stress-free, that I have a divine place in this plan, in the world, my spirituality. So, and that's a high number here. Does this still show unconscious? That's interesting. So D 1E12. 1E12 is but he's saying don't really look at the parental per se. It's more unconscious. Yeah, this is, see why we need training? This is a little bit tricky, isn't it? But some of the things that have come up for me and what I've done for others, I just moved through them. Like I ran the scan and I moved through them and read them to people that I was working with and really got in and used my intuition as like a sensitive person, and it made a lot of sense. Like they were going, oh my God, that's mind-blowing. I didn't realize that that's something that I do, and I know that I really need to work on that. So for me, this is really important as well, because it's even talking about here, I recognize the unconscious causes of feeling exhausted by closeness in relationships. I believe that's my kids, because I'm not in a romantic relationship. So the relationship that I have with my kids, that can wear you out sometimes. They can kick you right up the rear end, let me tell you. So I think that that's really powerful, and that's good for me to hear. Then I'm so wound up in the evening by that. So if he says go to the second one, living consciously, I am living consciously. I realize that by shutting down my mind and avoiding my awareness, I'm ruining my health. How would you interpret that, guys? What's the inner message from that you can pick up? Oops, let's let somebody in. So again, I am living consciously. I realize that by shutting down my mind and avoiding my awareness, I am ruining my health. So let's say I interpret this as I have an awareness of something. I'm very clear about it, but it might be easier to just shut it down and ignore it. And so then it's going to go unconscious and it's going to gnaw at me in an unconscious way, and maybe even play out in the anxiety and the stress that I have when I'm trying to sleep at night.
That's how I read it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's powerful. If you can work from it from that perspective, that's really powerful. And again, those are high numbers. Those are D's. So that's D. Is that one the D here? Yeah. So that is physical. It's going to play out physical.
Yes.
I'm getting this. Yeah. Okay.
What I heard about the C and the D, that the D is the effect it has on the body and the C is the cause.
Right. Right. So I have only one. It looks like I have only one. I think only one C here, and all D's. Like those are strong D's. I have never done this where I had that many D's. I have one C, and Michael said that when you have one C, then you immediately know that's your cause. Like, is that right? He said that, right? That's your cause. So energy and power. So here at 70%, it's an 8. It's the C15, and that's in wrong acting, physical, wrong acting. I recognize the unconscious cause of my energy field contracting around other people. So I'm so involved in somebody else's energy that it's as an empath, I'm not even in my own energy field. I'm in somebody else's energy field. And so I open myself optimally and my energy field expands into its optimal size. All energy flows into me unhindered to an optimal degree and circulates within me. Well, if I'm already tangled with other people, why do I want all their energy flowing in? I don't know about that. I guess just flowing smoothly. Does anybody else want to run a scan for themselves and we work through it?
But yeah, not only flowing into you, it's just through you, and energy flows from the universe just passing through you.
Through and unhindered, cycles, unhindered, unblocked, flowing freely. Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's really about balancing the physical, emotional energy with the more connecting with the spirit and seeing that I'm an important part of the process, that I am in a divine part of the way that the universe is playing out. And I have to get back into my own energy and that higher spiritual energy and not so much in other people's energy. Is that, that's how I'm seeing it. Is that how you guys would see that?
Yeah, I do too. Elise,
Yeah, because at the bottom here, it's talking about I live my spirituality, my presence on earth has a positive effect. So maybe in that other energy, unconscious or subconsciously, yeah, and it is unconscious. I don't realize that being in that space, it's not as effective. My place in this world is not as effective when I'm in that area and that unbalanced energy. Whereas when we pull out of that and we're conscious and we start doing the techniques and the strategies here that they recommend, that's when we become our strength, our value, really have that powerful, that effect. Because it's said here several times, flowing out into the world and giving, here, it flows forward out of me and spreads divine love into the world. So I love that. That's just so beautiful. So I'm all right. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. I love the tool. It's just learning how to interpret everything. Again, does anybody else want to run a scan and we work through it and just see? Or are we happy to just have doing this at the moment? Is everybody good with this so far?
Well, I'm not much help because I don't have the coaching module.
Yeah.
So I'll go with the flow.
I can see this as a huge benefit, an absolutely huge, huge benefit, especially if you're doing coaching. Even like, I really think the money aspect of this, because there are so many people that get out there and they put so much energy out and they help so many people, but it's in the receiving. They just aren't making the kind of money that they want to make, that they would like to see themselves earning. And so there must be something really deep and unconscious, because everything is energy. So that's really an important thing to know the limitations of why you're then not pulling in that kind of abundance. So in that regard, I think this is absolutely fantastic. We can look at just some of the different, that's what I can do. I'll go into some of the different databases and see if we can look at those and just have some fun with those. I'll just keep using me. So if we go into finances, say, so in this identity focus, let's have a look at some of those. Yeah, so this is where they get really deep. So this one, it won't let me actually go into it. So I experience the power to understand and implement, but it doesn't, I can't, they don't actually let you open that up, do they? No.
No.
Right. Okay, so then we'll go back, because if we can't read that. So the next one is personal responsibility. And that's in finances. See, I think it would definitely have a lot to do with like the identity focus and the personal responsibility, because so many people are just, I meet so many amazing people that tell me how badly they're struggling financially. So I just think this would be such a great thing to know. The following professional theme is optimized. Yes, so we can't go into those, but we can look at the different categories from there. So the finances, there's 445, and they come in the set of 3 different groups, which we have the 288, the 60. There's so many databases in here to work through. Goals, goal alignment and intent. There's 73 of those. Resolving motivational disorders. That would be a fantastic one. 205, resolving stress factors. Okay, so that's another one that I could have even looked at for at night. Maybe because a lot of my sleep issues, it's saying, is there's subconscious stuff going on there. So resolving stress factors, personality and character. That would be a good thing to know. So next time I might run finances through there to have a look. Don't you think? I mean, that makes good sense. Anything that brings up stress, I would think. Goals, goal alignment and intent, resolving motivational disorders. There's again, resolving stress factors, personality. I think I just did that one. Personal relationships. So I'm just showing everybody so you can see, those of you that don't have the coach, you can see how much is here. Fine. So even if you are putting yourself out there and you're not finding that person, you're not connecting with that person, we have here, you know, finding a partner, self-love and altruism, trust. I mean, how good is that? Yeah. Maybe we don't even know if we trust enough. Who knows? Potentials, individual qualities, 250 of those. Personal strengths, 25. Personal aspects, 68. So that's a lot there. social relationships. So one was personal and one was social. Boundaries and team spirit, 26. Personal integrity, that's a cool one. I bet there's a lot of stuff in there. And self-love, definitely that would play a major role in a lot of blocks in that area if people are not having really healthy, beautiful, supportive social relationships or even personal relationships, definitely. So, and then spirituality, which I kind of link to everything. Breath, silence, and spirituality. Wow. So it could have pulled up anything for me. It could have pulled up silence, but it pulled up a lot of breath for me. So I look at that too as trusting, maybe even associated with the root chakra, because that's our ability to feel safe and grounded in the world, to be able to breathe. I know children that have asthma. I don't have asthma, but don't feel safe in the world, safe in their place, not fully safe at all. And that plays a role, even when they get stressed out, plays a role in the way they breathe. So it's interesting that that came up for me, but that's really cool. There's a lot of really powerful stuff here. Career, did we look at career? Resolving stress factors, profession and work, self-assertion and self-confidence, that would be a really big one. And then talents, 182 of those. That's the biggest one. So it would also be able to pull on some of your biggest strengths and your talents. And maybe you're not even aware of them. They're subconscious and you're not even really aware of how much more you have to offer. And this could actually pick up, the coach could pick up some of the things that you're missing. So this would be a great thing for somebody that's needing a little bit more coaching and how to be more successful in their career, in their business. I love that. What do you guys think about that? That's really cool.
I'm getting curious.
I know, right? I mean, it's really exciting.
I've just switched my Healy app to English. So maybe I can do an analysis and share my
Yeah.
screen as well.
Yeah, let's do that. Definitely. So I will stop sharing.
Yes, let me also log in on Zoom on my phone.
Yep.
And if you can make me co-host, I can screen my share.
Yeah, let's do that.
Share my screen, join. Hold on.
I'll put all participants in share. Okay.
So there's two versions of the coach. One's
Right.
personal and one's success. Is that right? Or professional?
Yes.
What is
Yeah.
the meeting? The meeting
I
ID?
thought I stopped that. Let me leave meeting. There we go.
Okay. I have the meeting ID 849 727. No, 4727 7734. Phone join.
I have where everybody can share too, so it should be, you should be able to go right through there.
Join without video.
There we go. It's coming on.
Okay. Share screen.
Yeah, it takes a minute. It doesn't, it's kind of funky. There we go.
Yeah.
And I think from that point, you can just go in.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes. There it is.
Perfect. Beautiful.
So normally I should be able to select myself. Ah. And this is strange because my Healy was already connected, but okay,
I know,
connect
that's
again.
the thing. Yeah, it just does that. Every time I go in now, it wants me to do that
Yes.
exact step every time.
For every analysis, every time again,
Yes.
if you leave the app and go back in, you have to reconnect.
Yep. Every time.
Okay. Focus.
What category do you want to go through? Do you want to do career, job? I forgot which ones they. No, I don't even have it up anymore. Relationship,
Definitely business.
business. Yep. That's what I thought. I'm really interested to see. Now I got to go back in. I'm really interested to see those really powerful, because they've got a lot of good ones in there. Really good. So yeah. Are you only going to go business? Just put like, make it small so it's easier to read. And do you know your focus? What you know
What did
ask it something like what's your strongest trait, or what's a good trait to use to increase your, because it had some of those things that we don't know about, like it might pick something up that you're not using that's one of your big strengths. Like,
okay.
is there an underlying strength that you haven't tapped into? To increase my business. Oh yeah, I love that. Definitely.
Like this.
Mm.
Okay. Now we have to
Then you
select
go into the database and you
the database.
choose. Yeah. So in career, you would choose, you're going into career, right? Or are you
Oh.
not going into career?
That's the difficult part, because
I would go
career can
into
be
career. I would click that. And then I would look at, yeah, so talents. That's a good one. How
Yes.
many of those would you want to look at?
It's a huge database, so we can put a 3 in there.
Yep.
Because if I'm not mistaken, we should try to limit the number of results to 5 or 6
Yes.
in total.
Yeah.
So we can put the 2 stress factors and 1 self-assertion, because that's a small database. So we only put 1.
Yep. And then you tick the check mark, or are you going to
Yes.
do any other ones?
Oh, if I do other ones, it might become too much.
Okay. Yep. So will you stick with that?
So let's see. Start analysis.
So I just think this is an incredible tool. Bang, that went fast.
Yes.
Ah, that's 89%.
A very important one, the 7. So I can be confronted with it. C23, it's rather conscious, and the C, so it's the cause.
So that's mental, emotional.
Yes.
Yep.
Hmm.
I recognize, harmonize, and transform what causes me stress in my job and work, lack of innovative power. How do you feel about that? How does that resonate with you?
It's a tough one.
I know, because this is challenging. When you use this, it really challenges you. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, and it gets you to really dive into, where are you conscious? Where are you unconscious? What are you willing to let go of and embrace in order to move forward? It really is. It's challenging too, you know? Let's
But
say, what's
indeed,
the next one? Oh, and that's a lower number, the next one.
create, lack of
Yeah.
innovation. So create new things. Then effect on the physical level.
Did you just say done? Done.
No.
Yeah. It's like, oh, lack of innovation. I will start creating immediately. Done.
I know I have to create new things.
Hmm. Resolving stress factors, profession and work. I recognize, harmonize, and transform what causes me stress in profession and work. I recognize, harmonize, and transform what causes me stress. Lack of boundaries. That's a big one. That's a big deal. And that is a DE12. So that's unconscious. That's your
Strange.
subconscious. So according to this, you need to put some boundaries in place, and it's unconscious. You don't realize it, that's actually adding to some of your stress factors in your career at this time.
No, it's strange that it tells me that it's subconscious, because I'm already I'm at
Conscious of
home
it.
for 4.5 years with a burnout, so I know it has to do with boundaries,
Mm.
and I'm dealing with it. So I would expect that the middle number wouldn't be a 3, because I'm working on it, and I wouldn't expect it to be a D1E12,
Yeah,
because I
right.
know it. It's conscious.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting. So I'm not sure how to how to move through that. But yeah, maybe if you were less evolved, like, because I think that, yeah, but it would still pick that up, because Healy is so intuitive. This is just, I'm so impressed with Healy. It never ceases to amaze me how intuitive it is. But I'm hearing you, because there were some things that came up for me. I thought, no, I'm very aware of that. It's not in my subconscious. I'm very aware of that. But maybe there are aspects of it that we're not aware of. I don't know.
Could be. Who knows?
I know, right? Okay, so, and they're very high numbers though. They're in the 80s.
Yes.
Okay, so now you have an LM, which is spiritual, but it still says on a subconscious level, spiritual, but subconscious. Okay, so
Yes.
that is, is it lack of boundary? No, again, oh, to risk. I develop and harmonize the following personal characteristic: to risk. Are you not a risk taker?
Not really.
And so is this saying just jump into the void and take some risks?
Probably yes.
See, because that's how I take it. I look at that and I
Yes.
think,
No.
okay, so you have some really beautiful talents that you're not aware of fully yet. And it's asking you to take a risk, try something new, take a risk, because it's subconscious and it's spiritual, which means you're going to power through it, right? So it's time to maybe you set some boundaries and take some risks.
And just go for it.
And just go for it. How cool is that? I love that. Yeah. I love it.
Self-assertion and self-confidence. Strange.
It's on a, isn't it funny? It's really on a path. It's kind of, yeah, I assert myself confidently. I'm conscious of myself. I see consciously, I think consciously, and perceive consciously what wants to be seen outside and inside of me. Okay. How do we see that one, gang? Oh, I'm not supposed to say gang. A girl got very upset with me for using that word gang. I don't mean it like a bad gang. I just group. My mom always called us, come on, gang. And somebody got very upset with me and said, don't use that word on us anymore. So I'm sorry.
Willingness to be visible.
Oh, wow. Have you been thinking about doing something new and going public more with it?
I'm trying to get my business off of the ground and attract more customers.
Yep, yep.
But yeah, for the moment.
Right. So the trick is, from my perspective, is to become more visible in a very new and creative kind of a way. I feel like you've got some really powerful gifts that you fully haven't tapped into yet. And you could use some of those to actually be the icing on the cake to attract a whole new group of people to you, and an area of who you are and what you bring to the table that you haven't really dived into yet.
That's the innovation part.
What's that?
That's also the innovation part, the first one.
Yes. Yeah, like coming at it from a whole new perspective. That's how I see it. But I think that we're almost all being called to do that right now, because it's such a powerful time to be alive. There are so many opportunities that are going to come to the forefront for us with everything. Like, so many people are seeing the world in a completely different way. And a lot of people are very disillusioned, and they are looking for a new way of being. They're looking for a new way to support themselves in a world that's completely melting. It's completely breaking down, and people no longer know where they stand in the world. And so it's up to people that have their feet on the ground, that are working in kind of this field with energy and frequency and things of this nature, to provide some new support, new ways to look at business and industry and all the things. It's like we're finally now realizing, and for me, energy is everything, frequency is everything, it's everywhere, and you can't look at anything in your life now without really supporting frequencies in a way that help us shift. You know, those big, strong, rigid trees in heavy wind, if they can't bend at all, they're going to snap and break. And I'm seeing that with people, and a lot of us have to be out in the world in different groups of people that would never have come to this, but in this climate, they're coming to these new concepts, and they would have never done that in the past. And it's up to us to provide new strategies for people that would never come to us until now. They'd go, oh, that's crazy, that's nuts, I would never do that. I just think that you have an opportunity to really provide some massive benefit to people that only you would reach. Nobody else would reach them.
True. My previous career was in the ICT sector.
And what
So
is that?
I have an ICT background,
Ah, yep. Right.
software development, and now I'm into coaching and energy healing and Healy, of course.
Yeah. And isn't it interesting? So you can look at that aspect of what your background is and what you bring to the table. And then how would you bridge that into this new world, in this new climate? There are so many people that are looking for help right now, that are looking for ways to reinvent themselves. And that's one of the things that I think Healy is so profound in allowing us all to do. It's a bridge to take us to new places and to attract new sorts of people to us. And with an IT background, I think you utilize that, not completely get away from it, but utilize your knowledge base, your database, your expertise, and then build on it with frequency and energy and coaching, because you have a skill that you can bridge it with and do it in a completely different way. But it takes that innovation. See that
Yes,
at the
yes,
top,
yes.
it's really coming up with a completely different type of product that is innovative and different and niche and special that not everybody's doing. That's
No,
that's how I see it. Yeah.
I try to hide my background, push it to the background, but yeah, I should embrace
No,
it.
exactly. You embrace that gift, you embrace that skill. That's a fantastic skill to have, and a skill set and background, and even utilize it to your advantage, because so many people are going online now. So many people are having to recreate everything that they do. And with that skill, you are a conscious IT entrepreneur. It's like you got all the best things that people would be looking for. That's how I see it.
Yes.
It's like you are so lucky to have that skill set. Capitalize
Yeah.
on it. Yeah.
We still have
We
two
still
to
got
go.
more. See? How good is this? Okay.
Okay.
I develop and harmonize the following personal characteristic to select. So I see that right there at that moment, and that's C3. So that's mental emotional. You have a lot of mental emotional coming up. And C2, mental emotional again. That one, I develop and harmonize the following personal character to comprehend, to select. So how do you see that? Because I know how I see that. How do you see that?
Make a selection of what I want to do.
Yeah. So I see it as you're not limited. You have a whole bag of tricks to pull from, and you just you can select. You get to select what you want. You're not like, I got this one thing and that's all I can do, and I'm stuck with that. I think you have a multiple opportunities and capabilities, and you just have to really get creative, because for you the sky's the limit. Based on this, I don't feel that you've tapped into your greatest gifts. That's what I feel.
Nice one.
Yeah, I think you got a lot. You're sitting on a big old bag of tricks that you didn't even know you had. That's how I see it. Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of tricks, but it's how to put it in the world. That's
Yeah, so the trick is, and the gift is, with your skill set, there are so many people that you can help set up new product development type things. You're a conscious energy frequency person, so you're very in tune, you're very in touch. So not only do you have a skill set that is mechanical in nature, you know, that goes in and creates and builds and problem solves, you're also conscious and aware and awake and know how to work with energy and frequency. So you would be the most awesome person to help people that are looking to create new niche businesses. They need somebody that knows what they're doing. And you could use your Healy to even guide them. And when they start, everybody that uses Healy wants a Healy. Like the conversion rate on Healy is mind-blowingly high. It's in the 90, like 95% conversion rate. But I like to use Healy not as my main business, but as part of my business, because I have a whole, as a biologist, and I also do, you know, like film and television as well. For me, it's been a tool to just really bring all these other pieces together and work with. And I just think you could really help people out there that are looking to reinvent themselves and create a new product. And I think sharing Healy and doing a scan and doing a coaching session with them with the Healy, you could also build accounts even with your that other part of your business, because everybody's taking their business online now. Everybody wants to develop a digital product. You're a lucky guy. I think you're a very lucky guy. And if I was going to do a lot of work, I would want to go to somebody like you. Not that you want to do that, but it's still another, you know, it's another product that you could develop that's completely in line with your coaching and your Healy business and your energy work. And Bridget. But I don't know. What do I know? I'm just talking.
No, it's interesting.
I just think very differently. I like to think in a niche way. I like things that are very different. Like, I mean, I've been working with Jackie, and we started a new business called the Quantum Unicorn Entrepreneur, because it's getting people to think in these completely unicorn ways. Like, who would have thought that you would mix this and this and this and get this amazing business or product or company? Or, you know, we are being called to think out of the box in new and innovative ways now. We are being called to reinvent ourselves, and there's still, like, I mean, obviously we still need people that do IT. We still need electricians. We still need builders. But how can you live to your spiritual purpose? How can you bring in what you love doing? And you may want to get completely out of that. I don't know. I mean, I haven't even asked you. However, I think the skill set that we have, let me close my door. Jeez, guys, enough. Barking dogs. If we capitalize on what we have, our gifts, our traits, our you know, what we know well, we could take it in a whole new direction. I just think everything's changing. Everything is changing. And how do you bring what you love and bring your spiritual gifts into those avenues? And I think that's what this is saying. But does anybody else want to talk? Is anybody, because I've been talking. I can talk. I do a lot of talking. Would anybody else like to chime in? I'd love to hear from somebody else.
I'm definitely going to look into the coaching module, I think.
I know.
It's
How
deep,
good is
isn't
it?
it? Wow.
It's really good.
Mind-blowing.
I know. And it gets you to think. I mean, it really, it taps, it jumps in, especially with subconscious things or unconscious things.
Mm.
Because I mean, when we're conscious of stuff, I mean, obviously we already know we got to work with something, but how, if you don't know what you don't know, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
know what you don't know.
Mm.
And that's what
Yeah.
I love about this. It's
And what's is there a huge difference between the personal one and the successful, or whatever it was called?
no,
Okay.
I don't think it makes good sense with, I think it's like $100 difference or something. Why
Yeah.
would you get because the personal one doesn't have finances and something else, the career or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm.
But especially if you're going to be working with others to help them and help
Yeah.
guide them. And
True.
I really think it's not just about just doing Healy. I think the greatest gift you have are your gifts, your skills, your strengths, the things that you've done in the past that you've really, solidified and become an expert with. Why would you just toss that to the side when you can use that and build it into your whole product?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for
Great.
me as a biologist, I thought, well, how am I supposed to use Healy? But it all makes sense. And then even how would you use Healy when you're doing like film and television and it's like, well, how would you not? Every time they, they utilize, there's a lot of stress. Everything is about stress lately. So I always say, I can't even imagine not having my Healy because of even the stress that lowers the immune system when we're working hard. And when you're out there and when you're doing, like when I was shooting a documentary not long ago, and people were saying, well, how do you not get sick? It's like, are you kidding? This little guy right here, I haven't had to be with a doctor in years because I just don't get sick now, and I even had a horrible time with kidney stones. And I have to call an ambulance and go into the hospital and have surgery every time I had a kidney stone, and my body just manufactures kidney stones for some reason. Since I've had the Healy, I've been able to pass them and break them down and process them without a doctor, without morphine, without an emergency room, without an ambulance.
Wow.
And if you've ever had a kidney stone, that's a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
yeah. And since I've had my Healy, I haven't had to be treated for kidney stones. And you pray to die when you're passing a kidney stone.
Oh, a question a bit off topic to the coach. When you've got your Healy, someone was saying to me that you can't actually wear it over your heart or put it on that side of your heart when you're using it. Is that right? When you clip it onto yourself?
Well, I know Jan, who created the Deep Cycle, he said you shouldn't do it. However, that's the only person I've ever heard that from. I've worn it there. I don't feel a lot of negative or detrimental energy come off of this. I just don't feel it. I'm very sensitive to that, and I don't feel it.
Yeah. My Healy coil has just been posted out. It should be here tomorrow.
Oh, you'll love it. I have to say, though, my favorite part of the Healy is actually the millivolts. I love the electrical charges on the Healy. And for me, it's really powerful in cell signaling and really putting in the energy and information that the body needs to make a massive difference in the way my body communicates with itself. I just think it's a very, very important thing. And I don't go without. I mean, I use the microcurrents almost every day. Sometimes I'll stop for a while and I'll just go out and ground, and I'll go to the beach and I'll put my feet in the ocean. But I love, love, love the frequencies, the microcurrent frequencies. Love them.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with
That's
you
my
there.
favorite.
Mm. Yeah.
But I use resonance. I'm very, very into the coach at the moment, and I'm noticing a huge shift since I've been using it.
Wow.
And it
When did
happened
Coach
fast.
come out?
The beginning of the month.
Right. So it is really new.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And you want to get it now, because right now it's a one-off. Later it's going to a subscription.
Aha. Yeah. Right. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's the end of this month or the end of next month.
Ooh, I'll have
Or
to
it's
get
the
on.
end of the year. But look, like, check your back office and check. I don't know if anybody else has the answer to that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll check.
Yeah.
End of the year, I believe.
End of the year. Okay.
Right. Okay.
So I'm think your this analysis here is fantastic. I'm loving it. And I like what it said to me about my my entanglement with people and my energy, and the way I haven't allowed myself to really be in my own energy, that I'm and move more of the universal energy and not be so entangled with other people's energy. And I can see now where I probably get fixated there and I don't even realize I'm doing it. That's never good. That's never good. So that's awesome. Does anybody else want to share or say anything? Or, I mean, today was just a fly by the seat of our pants kind of thing, because I just wanted to work with people, dive in hands on, and just do it and learn and share with each other. Because there's a lot of great training out there, but I think people just want to get their hands wet and see what it is and how we work with it. Does anybody else want to do a scan, or we want to wrap this up? We've been on for a little while. Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. If possible, yes, I want to do a scan.
Okay, beautiful. Do you know how to share your screen?
Yes, I am here, and you see the second here, and that is my iPhone.
Okay, beautiful.
I will try to share my screen. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Yep.
This meeting is being recorded.
What's that?
That happens to me when I have the sound on one and not the other. It's it picks up the sound in both the phone and on the laptop, on the desktop. So one of the sound has to be turned off. So probably turn the sound off of your desktop, or either one. Just turn the sound off of one, off of your phone or your desktop.
On the iPhone.
iPhone.
Because you will be sharing a screen on the iPhone, it's better to turn off the sound on the iPhone.
See, we're learning.
This meeting is being recorded.
Got your sound off on the iPhone now? There we go. That's better. Yeah.
That's better?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Oh, good.
I turn the language in English because I am Dutch speaking, but I think it's better in English for you.
Yeah, I don't speak Dutch. I wish I
Ah.
did. I
I
don't.
do.
I know you guys will leave me in the wind.
Okay. You can't see my screen yet.
Not yet.
I'm trying to share my screen. Whoop, whoop. A little moment up.
It takes a little bit to get going, I've noticed. You hit share?
I was sent the link. I'm looking for the link. Whoop, whoop.
Oh yeah, I think
Um,
it's in the chat, maybe. Is it in the chat? The number?
or,
I don't see it from my screen.
no, I have to share my screen and
Yes.
I'm looking how I can do that. That's at this moment what I try to do.
I don't see your other account up. That's the problem. I think your iPhone account left. Am I right? It looks like your iPhone account's gone.
Yes, that's it.
I don't think you're signed in with your phone now.
That's it, I know. I'm trying. Whoops. No. If it's not succeed, I will try it again. Oh.
You can join again on your iPhone without sound.
Oh yeah, that's a good way to do it. Join without the audio.
And then once you're in, you can press the share screen on your iPhone.
A little moment, please. I try, and I hope it
Yes.
succeed. Yes. Now I have the link. Join, and the password was
21.
2021. Okay, continue. Join without video. For
Oh,
the
you want
smart.
with video?
The video doesn't matter. He'll be sharing a screen. So
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay, continue. And then using internet
not
audio.
connect to audio. Not connect to audio.
Cancel.
Yeah,
Yes.
turn off your audio.
Yes, I am
Maybe
back.
I can mute him.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for your help.
I think I can mute somehow here.
Okay, and now share screen and start. Okay, and now I am sharing my screen.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm going to,
No,
I've got to
I'm sorry.
mute. I have to mute you.
And once you share screen, you can just swipe to another app on your phone. It should come
Oh, it
up.
was just muted. Now it's not muted again. There we go. Perfect.
It's being recorded.
Is it possible that I can
It shows it's muted. I don't understand.
Yes, I don't understand. Okay, I think it's better we stop here because it don't.
It shows that he's muted on his phone. I don't get it. I
But
don't
if
know what to
there's-
tell you. Well,
Do
maybe
you
we
have a
can
meeting
set this
start?
up again before 2 weeks, and we can do another one, because I know my team, I've got quite a few girls in my team that wanted to be on tonight, but they need to do
Okay.
it later. So where are you
This
guys?
meeting is being recorded.
Belgium.
Belgium, yes.
Okay,